Hello everybody. Today we're going to take a quick look at how we can leverage Crunchbase and Watson to build a giant lead list of companies and founders of startups in whatever industry you're serving, to reach out to them and win them as clients. If you're not familiar with Crunchbase, I'm sure most of you are. It is a giant database of basically all startups around the world, looking at which industry they work in, when they were founded, what they actually do, where they're based, when they last raised their venture rounds, how much they've raised, and much more data. And they also have the data on who the founders are. And it is relatively cheap to use if you look at their pricing and you buy the yearly subscription. It's only $50 a month. For the amount of data that they offer, I would say that's actually a fairly affordable deal. If you only want to use it as a one-off, it's $99 a month. That is still relatively cheap for what they provide. They also provide email addresses. However, in my experience, they're not the best quality. They don't have that many email addresses of founders, and they're also relatively expensive. So what you can see here is you can use 100 contact credits for $29. That means you get 100 email addresses of founders, and obviously not all of them will be valid. I'd say that is a relatively bad deal that we could do better with a tool like Watson. And you have to pay this on top of your Crunchbase Pro subscription. So imagine you pay $50 a month to get access to thousands of startups, and then you have to pay another $99 a month just to get the contact data out. We can do a little bit better than that. And to show you how we're going to do that, so we're going to use a tool called Watson. Watson is an email finder tool, but it's a special one. It is a waterfall enrichment tool. So they actually don't provide an email finder themselves. They combine many different email finders like Apollo, Hunter, Uplead, Clearbit, RocketReach, and a few others all together. And what they do is you upload a list of the contacts you'd like to get the contact information for. They, in sequence, then call all of the connected email finder tools until they find a valid email address. And with this, you'll be able to then go against the shortcomings of Crunchbase, who can't find all of the email addresses, and actually get a competitive advantage here, I would say, by finding all the different email addresses other tools can't. So if you only sign up to, let's say, Apollo or only Hunter.io, you might find quite a few email addresses, but not all of them. So I think this is a pretty good deal. And today I'm going to show you how to do it. So what we're going to do is we'll go into Crunchbase and just find some leads who we want the contact information for. So you can go through all of these filters in your own time. We're just going to do an example. Today we're going to look at enterprise resource planning software providers. Let's say this is our target group. This is our ICP. We want them to be based in the United States. And let's say they should already be like fairly big. Yeah, let's, I don't know, call it, they should have at least 100 employees, or now let's say 250. So these are then all of the accounts, all of the companies we actually want to target. And if we scroll to the side here, we can see Crunchbase actually has quite a few of the founders listed here already. If you can't see them, click on the settings, on edit table view, and here you can add and subtract a lot of additional data to your table. Make sure that the list that you're trying to download is 1,000 results or less, otherwise Crunchbase won't let you download it. Click on export. And this is the list of companies we now want to find the founders and contact information for. So what we're going to do, I already prepared this here. We're going to take a look at the website. This is what we'll need, and the founder names to enrich them in the tool. This is what Watson looks like as a tool, and they need us to provide the first name of the founder, the last name of the founder, and the company domain. And if you click on Show Me an Example, it gives you a template of how you need to fill it out. To save some time, I've already done this here. So I have taken the founders. Sometimes there's multiple founders listed. I basically just took the first one. In my experience, those are the easiest to find contact data for, and split them up into first name and last name, and then also company domain. And we have 65 people here that we want to get contact data for. Obviously, we can do much more here. This is just an example. But then we will download this as a CSV and go to Watson and upload it here. So Watson will now recognize, okay, we've named all of these columns correctly. First name, last name, company domain. We're going to upload the file. Now it's reading the file, and click on Enrich. Okay, the enrichment process has now started. This is likely going to take a few minutes because now every row will individually go to one email provider. If the email provider doesn't have the email address or a valid email address, it will go to the next one, to the next one, to the next one until they find it. So let's wait a second here and see what the result will be. Okay, we're back. The enrichment process should now be complete. We're going to click on Download. Here we also get to see a JSON export of all of the different emails and basically API calls that we made here. We can then download the file and then see the email addresses that were found for all these individual founders. We can see some of the professional email addresses could not be found, at least not valid addresses. But that is okay because we now know basically no tool out there can find them, and we can rest assured that these people we can actually reach out to. Thank you so much, and let me know what you think of the tool.